Welcome to BackPackTrack, the solo travel podcast for people who think one backpack is a lifestyle. As the name of the podcast already says, I'm a little bit biased when it comes to the topic backpack versus suitcase. And I mean, my podcast is literally called BackPackTrack. And just imagine I would come here and be like, actually guys, suitcases are the way to go. That would be hilarious, right? Anyways, I traveled with both. And here's clearly to say there are pros and cons for suitcases or backpacks. But for me, when I started traveling for a long term, and I knew that I wouldn't return like within 1 or 2 weeks, I knew I want to have a backpack. I was very delusional, to be honest, because I just pictured myself very romantically with like a backpack on my shoulders, and I looked so cool, just like the ultimate traveler. Yeah, until the reality check kicked in. It is not that cool for your bag, let me tell you that. Honestly, sometimes I felt like a grandma. My back hurt. My shoulders were stiff and sore. And I really felt so old. But the truth is, I just did a lot of mistakes. So buckle up, or actually strap in, because today we're unpacking, like literally, the eternal fight between backpack versus suitcase. Even though we all know backpack is obviously the winner, at least for me. And in addition, we also discuss how to avoid stiff shoulders. Because if you do it right, your back should not hurt. But yeah, let's start with the suitcase. A suitcase sounds great at first. You organize everything neatly into your little square, close it up, and roll away singing, "Let's keep on rolling." Easy, right? And you don't need to carry anything. Your bag and your shoulders are totally happy until the ground isn't smooth. Then it's game over. Literally. Cobblestone, sand, dirt roads. And suddenly, you're not the travel chick anymore. I mean, the one who looks very comfy and well organized. No. Now you look more like, you're carrying around like a unhandy, heavy box. Yeah, suitcases are not meant to be carried, right? That's just it. That's a fact. And then, in addition, if you go to Japan, for example, that's a country for me with the never-ending stairs. Like literally everywhere. At train stations you have them, temples, random underpasses. Stairs are everywhere. And then there are you, hauling your, let's say, 15-kilo suitcase up and down like it's a CrossFit training. And of course, yeah, nice workout. Except no one will clap for you. People will just stare at you while you are dying inside. So yeah, if you only stay at one place, fine. Take your suitcase when you're happy with it. Live your best little hotel life. But when you're moving around, the suitcase can just become your worst enemy. And speaking of the worst enemy, if you do it wrong, the backpack can also become your worst nightmare. And let's be honest, for me personally, I have like a love-hate relationship with my backpack. You look cool and adventurous, and it's very, very handy because it doesn't matter how the ground looks like. You can just walk. You don't need to drag anything behind you because, yeah, the backpack is not on wheels, it's on your shoulders. But even though you look very cool and it's handy, if you pack it wrong and it's way too heavy, your spine is feeling for divorce the entire time. Trust me, I've been there. And yeah, again, choosing the right backpack and also packing it correctly is harder than I expected. And at the moment, I'm really honest here with you guys. I'm very guilty and I should do better, but I'm still walking around with the wrong backpack. I just don't want to buy another one because they're actually crazy expensive. Maybe I should just think about selling it and get a new one. But yeah, at the moment, I'm just lazy and I'm traveling, so whatever. I will tell you the whole story about my backpack, why I'm still having the wrong one, so you can do better. When I was looking for a backpack, I just wanted one thing. It needed to be big. And why? It's a little bit embarrassing to say it here, but my plan was to buy tons of Pokemon merch in Japan so that I can all put it in my backpack, that there is enough space for it, better said. That was literally the only logic I had when I was considering to buy the backpack. I wasn't thinking about ergonomics or weight distribution. Nope, not at all. My brain was only like, I'm gonna catch them all. And yeah, what I caught was back pain, stiff shoulders, and yeah. What can I say? I've learned my lesson the hard way. Anyways, so I went to a shop to buy my backpack. This is one good thing. I can tell you, don't buy it online. I mean, of course, it's tempting. You don't need to move somewhere, and it's often also cheaper. But there's a reason why I would recommend shops. First of all, you can try the backpacks on, and yeah, literally every backpack has like a different fitting, and you have like special backpacks for females and males, and then also some with bigger shoulder pads or some with more hip support. So it really is a good idea to try them. And in addition, if you wouldn't be as stubborn as me, as you will hear in a minute, the staff is well experienced. They can give you tips. They can basically tell you what to do, which backpack you should try, and what is best for your situation. But yeah, as I said, I was stubborn. I stepped into the shop. I was very inexperienced. I didn't know really what I was looking for, except for the bigger, the better. And no exaggeration here, I really tried on the 90-liter backpacks, and I think the biggest one was even the 100-liter one, and it was for males, but I felt like I can do it too, and I want to put a lot of stuff in there. And I think because I was, doing such a bad job choosing the right backpack, so the staff came over and wanted to help me. He asked several questions and what am I doing, and he always just stated, go smaller, you're too big, go smaller, the smaller the better, nothing else. Instead of using common sense and buy a small backpack, my brain went all the way with the mindset, I'm moving out forever and I carry my whole existence with me, so I need a big one. The guy just looked at me as if I was insane. He also pointed out that I have to carry everything what is inside of the bag, and it will not be pleasant for me walking all the time with a heavy backpack, but I did not listen to him. And at some point, I just give in and said, yeah, okay, maybe 90 liters is a little bit too much. Okay, let's go for 75. So right now, my backpack is 75 liters. And now, thinking back about it, I should have listened to the poor guy. The funniest part about the whole story was actually that I went home on the same day. My mom looked at me and she was just shocked. And not because the backpack was too big. No. She still said, oh my gosh, what did you buy? That's way too small. Seems that it turned out my mom had the same optical illusion going on as me. And also at the same time, I felt bad. I shouldn't have listened to the stuff. I should have just buy the 90-liter bag. But yeah, it is what it is. Now it's just 75. And guess what happened? Yeah, just 1 week into traveling, I regretted my choice so badly. I should have listened to the stuff. Why? Because it was just too much stuff. Too heavy. And it wasn't that I packed unnecessary stuff like a hairdryer or anything fancy. No, actually not. But here, on this term, I can just quote the employee from the shop. And he was telling me, the bigger the backpack, the more stuff you end up cramming into it, whether you need it or not. And he was right about that. I didn't listen. I put a lot of stuff. And to give you just an idea what I packed, I mean, it was way too much. I felt like, actually, clothes-wise, I was running like a small little pop-up store for H&M or Zara, because I had literally 5 pairs of long pants, then 4 short pants, 3 hoodies, because yeah, you never know, maybe it's getting cold, and instead of just like using 1, no, I need 3. Plenty of shirts, a dress, a swimsuit, and instead of just doing laundry more often, I felt like I need to be prepared. If it's cold, if it's hot, I am prepared for anything. And on top of that, I also carried a heavy camera with 2 lenses with me. And yeah, no joke, 3 books. Yeah, I was still very much in vacation mode. And I just wanted to be prepared for everything. Just in case I want to do reading or I want to do something else. And here I can literally just say the only thing I was actually really prepared for was a lifelong relationship with back pain. And now if you take a guess, you would probably think, what you listed, girl, is not that heavy. I mean, it's just clothes. But yeah, I totally forgot to mention that, of course, I also packed the essentials. Bottles of sunblock, shampoo, body soap, also a travel pharmacy, which was way too big. It actually never crossed my mind that I could also just buy these things in the countries I visit. Nope, not an option. I just wanted to be prepared for everything. Additionally, I also brought a small little backpack as a hand luggage. And in there, I also put in like my water bottle, the heavy one with the filter I mentioned in the other episode, my laptop, of course, and then all the cables. In the end, it just added up a lot. So I stepped on the scale, and firstly, I had troubles putting my backpack on my back There's a video of me existing where I struggle so hard. My parents were just laughing their ass off. And when I stepped on the scale, it just showed 28 kilos. Okay, 27 point something, but too heavy. I just wore the backpack for max 5 minutes and I felt that's okay. That's not too heavy. I barely feel it. What a lie. What a lie. Because as soon as you start walking with your backpack and carry it longer than 10 minutes, you feel 28 kilos. In the end, none of my books made it back home safely. Same for my hoodies. And I just left as much stuff as possible on the way. So in the end, I think I came home with, I think it was just 24 kilos or 23. But yeah, anyways, it doesn't matter. Here is just the truth. If you buy a backpack, don't go bigger than 60 liters. That's exactly what the staff said to me, but yeah, don't be stubborn, just listen to the staff. Your shoulders will thank you, as well as your spine or your back in general. The golden rule when it comes to backpacks is just the bigger the backpack, the more useless stuff you will cramp into it. If there's space, you will fill it. And that's not a theory, that's science. My backpack was so full, with so many unnecessary stuff, just go smaller. And in these terms, it really applies that the smaller, the better. Nothing else. And if you follow this simple rule, don't pack too much, your backpack will not become your biggest enemy or your biggest nightmare. No, it will become your best friend and you will love traveling with the backpack on your shoulders.